Hopefully, this is working. It's all in order, and everyone can hear me and everyone else. Please let me know if the stream's working or not, because we had to do a little bit of a change. Hunter and Old Mate will still be casting.
Stream is up and running, and it is clear.
Sweet. All right.
And we have had a little bit of rain start and come down just before the start of this race. So the rain has just decided to come down in the formation lap. So
As Mez gets away to a good start.
yep, fellow Mercedes teammate Mez, and then Drix and Werreboy.
Oh, as the two Red Bulls collide and big accident at the back. Very big accident.
Werreboy and SGN have both just been disintegrated. So I know Werreboy was third. I don't know where. Do you know where SGN was there, Hunter?
No, I don't know actually.
Doesn't look like. Hey, we have got a full safety car. So with not even a lap under our belt, we are into a full safety car. The change of positions. Well, obviously, Mez has taken over Drix for the lead. Um, everyone's on medium tyres except Bassink, who's on the hards. So, will we see anyone pit on this safety car, or will they stay out?
I wouldn't say so because, like you said, it's only been not even a lap. So I think these drivers would be wanting to still have the same pit stop strategy. Maybe just stretch it out, maybe a few laps, 2-3 laps.
Yep. So you're not predicting anyone to go in at the present time.
Unless they have a front broken wing. That,
Love your work.
as I believe Bass Inc. has picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane, and Groovesy picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding through the pits.
Oh, that is not a good start for those boys at the back, but a few movers in the front. So obviously we've lost a Red Bull, we've lost a Mercedes. Azza has fallen 4 spots on the start, and Grovesy's dropped down 6, obviously with pitting, and ABK also going down 7 spots. So the big winners, 33 Evis with 4 spots up, Striker with 5, Buster with 5, Darkly with 4, Ames with 6, and Vaxation with 4. So our top 4 haven't really changed too much, but Tazza has dropped out of that top 4, and we have lost obviously Werreboy and SGN. So I don't know if we've got our race engineers anywhere by chance, but don't think we have anyone on Inters just yet. I think the track's still pretty dry, but ABK has gone to soft, so we're still on dry tyres at the moment. And it looks like we're going to have another lap before we restart. So with conditions getting worse, oh, here we go. So Mez, our leader, is into the pits, followed by Drix. Who Striker's gone in. So it looks like 33 Evis has stayed out. Mickey DeWiz has also stayed out. Vaxation has stayed out. And Grovesy. Everyone else has dived in and gone for the intermediates.
That's a bit of a weird strategy from AlphaTauri. Not deciding to go on to Inters for only one driver, I believe, because I think as a team you might have the test person, like someone who thinks they might be able to stay out. But to risk it both with both drivers, I think that's a bit of a weird move.
And to go with that weird move, King Cairo did pit, and instead of coming out onto intermediates, he ended up coming out onto hards. So I don't know if we are having a brain fart by one of our kingpins, or whether the new game has decided to play a little bit of trick on him in the pit lane, as we have seen that before. And as you did mention, the AlphaTauri, the curse is back, it looks like it. So but I don't know if we're gonna have. We're probably gonna have one more lap on this safety car, and we do have a few people questioning Cairo's pit strategy, not knowing if he's actually going to make a lap on cold hards in the rain, which, again, that is very, very possible that we could lose a driver or two. As it looks like we have Vaxation, Grovesy, and Cairo pitting. And the AlphaTauris have both still stayed out.
So, so what would you think that would to lead? Do you think that may just mean there's not going to be much rain and they're just risking it to stay out on the mediums and let that strategy play out, or it's just a gamble?
No, I honestly, I don't really know. If we've got any insight into the AlphaTauri base, please let us know. But they're trying to warm their tyres up, and you can see them already getting a little bit bent out of shape. But unfortunately, we don't have the weather report. So if anyone does know anything at all, please do. It is going to dry up. So there you go. So AlphaTauri are taking, both drivers are taking the risk and saying, all right, we're going to try and wait out the wet and not have to make a pit stop. So safety car is also in this lap. So what do you predict to happen here, Hunter?
I reckon there's going to be two cars go side by side and just crash under the wet, or someone spins into the first corner and kills like 3-4 drivers.
So you heard it here first. Hunter is giving none of the drivers any confidence at all and saying, you know what, they're all just going to go bang and we're going to have another safety car. Is that what you're telling me?
But sort of not, because the new game's hard, very hard, especially with no traction control, as I believe most of these drivers are. So, I think it's just gonna be a hard track for the drivers to get away well, and I believe. Oh, sorry, as 33 Eva spun off the line, taking off the start.
So Mickey DeWiz severe collision. So Oh, look at him. He's sliding all over the place. Cutting, corner cutting as well. So the AlphaTauri master plan has not done anything. Mez has regained the lead. Buster making up a few good places there. Fluxy as well. Obviously, Drix getting into a little bit of a tussle with the AlphaTauris. And just by the big man himself, HK Racing has said, if we get another safety car, the chat will get a present. So make sure you... Oh, we don't know. As we see Buster here making a move on Mez. Mez holding his line, but backing out of it at the last second. Everyone else seems to be pretty bunched up towards the back here, fighting and jostling on positions. Just trying to stay in the hunt. Cairo's making his way back up the rest as he goes. Tin, I'm going to redeem for sing. Will you sing, surely?
Yes, I will sing.
Oh, we have...
I will sing.
Hunter will sing. What do you get? What would you sing later on, Hunter? We just got to give it people.
I don't know. I don't know what I'll sing.
I reckon a bit of Levitation. I reckon by Dua Lipa. That's what I want to hear.
Okay.
All right. So you prepare yourself for that as we keep going here. So.
Oh, hey. Sorry. I've just looked into the singing thing that you can get in the Twitch chat, and it's sing for 3 laps, so I can't commentate without singing.
Is that right? All right. Well, back to the racing here. Bus has just set the fastest lap. So Buster's out setting the pace. Mez right behind him, still in DRS thing. I don't think DRS is on at the moment. Bit of a gap to Fluxy, Drix, Striker, and Tazza, as we have lost a driver with a yellow flag in Sector 2.
Oh, it's... Oh, as he turns.
Oh, that is a... That is a lot of action. We've got Basink here going up the inside of Cairo. Cairo's still fighting back, not letting him have it. But it looks like Bass is going to get the job done as he pushes him wide. Little bit of contact, but we're still racing. As Basink goes a little wide there, and Cairo's going to jump all over him now and take the inside line. Very, very close racing, but Bass has got that exit covered. Some great racing there. Oh, as we've just lost Basink straight in front of Cairo with a big spin coming off the back turn. That was massive. That's a second victim we have there, except Basink was on inters while the AlphaTauri of Mickey DeWiz was... sorry, not Mickey DeWiz. Of 33 Evis was on mediums. Battle up going with Tazza right on the tail of Striker, with Drix and Fluxy both in his sights. Mez and Buster just a little bit up the road.
We'll try and make it up for you.
So Mickey DeWiz seems to be the only driver here on mediums, as Ames has gone around darkly. A 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Ames. The FIA is going to be busy, that is for sure.
Yeah, very busy. As I believe they were very busy from Monday with some incidents.
So battle for the top 6 here. There's a bit of a gap between the top 6 and Cairo, with him about just over 4 seconds behind. So Tazza just on the back of Striker here.
Didn't realise, but Mickey DeWiz decided to stay out on the mediums.
Yep, so I'm guessing he's hoping to, as Mez gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so that is going to hurt his cause. Tazza going to make a move here. He's gone a little bit wider to straighten the car up. Lot different lines here to what Striker is taking, and it seems to be closing him down as he has to brake a little bit there. Can he get more power out of the straight here? As Striker gets very much out of whack, and Tazza is going to gobble him up.
And also no DRS until the end of the rain.
They are side by side here as Striker's a little bit of a corner cut, but Tazza's made very light work of Striker here. As 33 Evers has put in the fastest lap.
So I believe 33 Evers is closing down on AMS.
Ames, yep. So probably slightly hotter tyres. If it is to dry up, it'll just depend on who's got the cojones to go in early when the track does start to dry up. But the Inters will go along for quite now as we're on board here with Drix. Going back into the pack with Batsink. A little battle between himself and Grovesy. So Grovesy still having almost a full tank of ERS. Is going to try and really close the gap to Bass.
A lot of drivers struggling to make moves without having to use most of their battery because in the rain there's no DRS.
Yeah, as Grovesy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Back on board here with Tazza and the fight for third and fourth.
Mercy, the AlphaTauri engineer, I would maybe think it could be Deku, maybe?
Yeah, Deco looks like he's the race engineer, but we'll find out. But again, back up with these front runners. It doesn't seem to be a lot between Tazza, Drix and Fluxy here. Mez and Buster have pulled away a little bit, put a little bit of a gap of about 2.5 seconds. The gap seems to be, as Buster is continuing to push the pressure out as we're seeing new fastest laps coming out. So the track might be just drying out just a little bit, allowing a bit more grip. So a theoretical order at the moment as Buster picks up a 3-second time penalty. So your theoretical leader is Mez Z just over Luxie and Buster, but they are pulling away. As I'm just looking at the comments here of HK Racing, Buster got busted as Tazza juicing hard down the back straight to take the inside line on Drix. Braking a lot later there with Tazza, and Drix lets him get it done, but trying to set himself up for the back straight. But Tazza just absolutely rapid.
It doesn't look like much rainfall anymore, so the track would be drying up very immensely. So soon I believe we might see drivers in the next 4 or 5 laps starting to go onto dry tyres.
Yes, looking forward to that as Mickey DeWiz picks up a 3-second penalty. On board here with ABK, pressuring King Cairo, who's already made a few mistakes, going wide into that corner, allowing ABK as we have a yellow flag. I think it might have been vexation there. As Mickey DeWiz gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
I believe that was for the glitch going into the pits around here.
I love that. All right, so Tazza has called priority and said, I'm the number one driver, Fluxy. You spin too much. Please get out my way. And has pulled rank on Tazza as Drix makes a massive move down the side of Fluxy and also gets him. ABK and Cairo as well battling at the back here. Sector 1.
What has happened?
So Fluxy has taken back that spot onto Drix, so there might have been a little bit of contact there, but Buster, Mez flying away with a 4-second gap to Tazza and Fluxy, the two Aston Martins, followed by Drix, and then on board with Striker here, who's within DRS if it was actually in use.
Yeah, like I said, a bunch of these drivers are really struggling to pass the other drivers without the DRS.
Well, the DRS has been massive in this game. I know in the personally, as Mez gets a little bit close to Buster here, manages to stay out of trouble, but is really over the back of him. Bit of wheel spin coming out of the back corner. Gives Buster a little bit of room, but still fairly comfortably in front here. With Tazza over 4 seconds behind.
It's been a very interesting race so far.
Yes, it's been quite, as we do have DRS has been enabled. So the track is dried out enough now that we have DRS enabled. So Mez Z is going to be, Mez is going to have quite a good little run at the back there, but we're back on board here with ABK, who is right up the clappers of Striker and gets his DRS for the first chance. Don't think he's quite close enough, but able to close that gap down a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how the drivers do adapt to this the break, as we see Buster going wide here, Mez all over the back as he goes right up the inside. Mez keeping it nice and clean. Beautiful driving here, absolutely beautiful. Again,
I believe a lot of these drivers would be boxing this lap, so these drivers really
we have
just
seen our first pit. You have called it there, Hunter, with Ames in the pits for hard.
see drivers now have the free choice of what tyre because they have been onto the inters, so that would count as their tyre change of the race. So I believe we're going to see a bit of few different strategies throughout the pack, but I don't know, I think it is drying up, but I don't think it is dry enough for the hards. But a lot of these drivers may take a gamble just to ensure that they don't have to pit later.
Yeah, that's it. So Mezzi getting past Buster here, and then we have had some guys pit. So Drix, one of our top leaders, going on to hards. ABK also gone on to hards. Vexation and Groovy have gone on to the mediums, as Buster has shot down the inside of Mezzi here. Of Mez, with that absolutely overpowered DRS range. So now that we have got the DRS out, we're going to see a lot more overtaking here, but how long are we going to see the top drivers hold out for? Because Drix really has to be our gauge. Drix is one of the front runners, pitted early. Will those hards or at least getting those hards warm, will it... Oh, as Buster makes big contact with Mez. And they have the three leaders have pitted. Fluxy also pitting. Striker pitting. Cairo's decided to stay out one more lap and take the gamble. As we see a lot of guys coming back out on the hards, a few guys coming out on the mediums. Tazza, Fluxy out on the mediums. Fluxy has absolutely been crippled by this move as he had to double stack with Tazza. But with 13 laps to go in this race, the medium's going to hold out that long, or are the hards going to be the tyre? As we see Drix making a move. Oh, he gets caught up with Striker. Back station just might be close enough to as Tazza goes straight down the inside of Mez. The medium tyres are absolutely working their magic at the moment for Tazza. So will we see Cairo and Darkly go in for pit stop here? Or will they stay out?
I suspect so.
So Cairo's just dived into the pits.
Apart from the last 3 or 4 drivers, the pack is very close. I don't think there is a gap that big until Tazza to some Darkly and Kinkaro, but that's due to Kinkaro and Darkly not hitting yet.
So that extra lap of Cairo's has done him some good. He's actually made up time here. So Tazza is your overall leader, followed by Mez, followed by Cairo with one more lap on those intermediates has pushed him quite further up. Buster back to fourth, sorry, followed by ABK and then Drix. So Drix really hasn't gained anything by by going in early for those hards, but will he gain a bit more through having his tyres one more lap up to temperature, even 2 more laps over some of the leaders?
It may, but it's always a risk trying to undercut or overcut. So it may work or it may not. Around France, I don't find the undercut to be a very powerful strategy. But if Drix can get those tyres much more up to temperature than the other guys and start to catch them, I believe that has been a good call. But sorry, I believe we just saw Drix go off the track, if I'm right.
That is correct. That is correct. So Tazza's just set the fastest lap with a 1:36. He is already put on a 2.3 second, almost 2.4 second as Fluxy, his teammate, with a 1:36.3. So Tazza's well out in front, 2.5 seconds. Cairo's 3.5 seconds behind Mez, and then Buster is right his clapper with ABK in a little DRS change that will start to get a little spicy.
They even to think about it, when Drake's in sixth place, oh, sixth place, oh, I can't talk. Sixth place is still good points for a driver. For it to be your first race and completely different game, new handling model, I think it's a very good performance from Drix so far.
Very well said. As we see Buster all over the back of King Cairo here. It's weird seeing Cairo in a Ferrari. I'm so used to him in an Aston Martin. Actually, I think he was in Williams last year as well. So everyone's starting to get around and swap teams as Tazza puts in a 1:34.7. He's now pushed out to a 3.7 lead over Mez. Tazza is out in clean air and absolutely loving it. On board with Fluxy here. Closing the gap to Striker. Great run out of turn one. And close even more. He's going to be all over the back of Striker here for this down the track straight. So I would expect, as long as nothing really goes wrong, he'll catch that place. Buster in DRS range.
As a driver yourself, Tins, what do you think of the new game and this track?
I really like the new game. I think making the hards a viable tyre has really, I guess, opened the game up to a whole new standard. Obviously, mediums are actually mediums now and performing like it. Hards, we didn't even use hards in the last game. So the fact that they're a preferred race tyre at the moment is absolutely astonishing and great. I think the ground effect is going to suit some drivers and others not so much. I think having a bit more play with the settings is going to be quite crucial to those who understand the game. If you can understand your settings, I think that goes a very, very long way to progressing in the game. What was the other question? Sorry, Hunter. I got lost.
Oh, just what do you think of France with the new cars?
I think France is a good track. It's not one of my personal favourites. I think my favourite's Hungary, and that's coming up next week. As we see Buster side by side with Cairo, just pulling out to try and get a better exit, but looks like he's cost himself a little bit of time there, and he's almost completely out of ERS. I think France has his up and downs, but it's a very long track. It's very, as we've already seen, DRS orientated. So if you can close up the gap and get into DRS territory, it is very, very much overpowered. How about yourself?
I personally agree with you. It's a very DRS viable track, and I think if you can't keep up with the pace with the guys in front of you and stay within their DRS, you're going to fall back into the cars behind you and get overtaken.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there, Hunter. As we see Striker in his little battle with Fluxy. So the track's really dried out now. Ames has pitted for softs at the back of the pack. And we've got 7-lap-old mediums at the top with Tazza. 5-lap-old softs for the next three, Mez, Cairo, Buster. 6-lap-old hards for ABK and Drix. Will the hards drop off enough? Sorry, will the mediums drop off enough of Tazza for Mez or Cairo to do any sort of damage? as Darkly has gone around in one as so as 33 Evis. So maybe a little bit of contact there. And Mercy has said the mediums will die in 5 laps. So he reckons there'll be about 2 laps left when they die, as we see Fluxy with a very nice last corner, positioning his car right up the clacker of Vaxation. Striker closing in as well with the DRS assistance, as just has a little bit of a moment, holds it together, and isn't this a view?
It's very, very close racing.
It is. This is what we expect from our higher division drivers, but it never seems to get any less fascinating when you're in a hard battle and you really get in there. It's just where it says Fluxy's going to go around the outside. As he does get the job done, Vaxation isn't going to fight that one, as Fluxy's gone straight around. Just had to wait there for Striker. And classic Fluxy.
Fluxy needs to learn how to not spin, man. If Fluxy didn't spin, Fluxy would be a very good driver. He would be contending for top 8, top 7 every week.
Well,
But,
you better get onto him, mate. You better go and get him some tips, I reckon.
oh, no, it's a rival team.
As we see Buster here closing on Cairo again. It doesn't seem that Taz is pulling away from Mez now, so maybe those mediums are starting to give him a little bit of trouble, and Mez's hards are starting to actually warm up and come into their prime. So hopefully we can close that game. As I say that, he puts another 100th on the board. Striker here, right behind Vexation.
I find it very weird that Ames has decided to go onto the softs, as I believe the softs only last 2 to maybe like 4 to 7 laps, and with 2-lap-old softs already, his softs by the end of the race are going to be dead.
Yeah, well, he did have an incident at the start of the day, so maybe trying to take a bit of a gamble here, maybe get lucky with a safety car or something like that, as we see Striker straight up the inside of Vaxation. Hard starting to get the job done here, as we also see Mez has pulled back the lead 3/10 in that 1 lap to Tazza. So Tazza's mediums are starting to go backwards a little bit, and Mez is starting to push a bit harder. So those hards are really coming in their own. Back with the Buster Cairo battle here. If Buster can hold his gap here, he'll be all over the back of Cairo here. Just a quick look at the penalties. 3 seconds for most drivers. Unfortunately, Darkley's had a bit of a stinker with 19 seconds. And Ames and Mickey DeWiz with 6 seconds. As Darkley gets a 5 second back up to 24. So Drix and ABK swapping positions.
Is something going on with Darkly, as he's picking up penalty after penalty? As he's DNF'd. That's a bit weird. So what do you think's happened there? Like a glitch with the game, or wheel unplug, or something like that?
Couldn't quite tell you. Might have to have a chat with the man later himself if we can. Maybe just a bit of sheer frustration of too many pits. It's busted really close to Cairo here. Great exit. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin on the end though. Juicing and the DRS wide open as he goes straight around Cairo. A little bit wide into turn 1, but pretty nice exit out of turn 2.
As Taz is still holding a very sustainable gap to Mez, so maybe the mediums are dying off, but I think Tazza has built a big enough gap to Mez to hold off his lead.
So, as I said, Mez closed that down to 3.9 and then must have made a mistake to lose 7 or 8 tenths. So, we never know. We might find a bit later. Cairo on the back of Buster here. Now, Buster is flashing. Buster has pretty much no ERS left. And Cairo's just sitting behind him going, I think I might just use this to kind of recharge the battery. And so there we go. Very close battle right behind then as well between ABK and Drix.
Oh, if you guys could just give me 1 second, I just need to go grab a charger for something really quickly.
You're right, mate. We'll cover it up. Wonder if Salty is hanging around a little bit here. Might be able to hear
I'm
from
around.
the man himself. Here he is.
I'm around. Just, trying to catch as much action as I can.
Love your work, mate. Love your
Sitting
work.
here for an hour watching intervals.
That's it. You're, the man on the mission in the background. How have you found the race so far?
I mean, it's been 1 or 2 fights have been pretty interesting, and I want to know what happened on the start, because sadly we didn't see it, because we were watching the front runners. We didn't really see what happened at the back. So I'm interested to see what happened with Weir at the back with the spin.
So I think, wasn't Weiraboy third at some stage? I think Hunter might have called the Red Bulls making contact, and then I think SGN might have gotten a little bit tangled up. As we know, there is no ghosting in this league.
I mean, we did catch someone absolutely flying off into the sunset. So, and it wouldn't be the first time. I think last time we raced in France, in one of the races, we also went flying, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he does have a habit of doing that in France. It could be someone else. But it did look like he went a bit haywire.
What do you think Hunter was onto something with Darkler, with maybe a steering wheel unplug or...
I'm not sure. It just seemed like hard racing that it just made a small mistake, turned into someone.
So I think he DNF'd because he had too many penalties in the end, but he managed to get... Darkly, sorry, yeah. We got about 15 seconds or so in about 2 minutes, and maybe a steering wheel unplug or maybe something going wrong, or...
I mean, it definitely could have been. Could have been a steering wheel unplugged, but it could just be that he got too many penalties, just had a harsh race, and just wanted to come to the pits and retire.
I think we've all had those, as Kyra gets a little squirrelish, but I think we've all had those days where, the race just hasn't gone the way you've wanted it to go.
Oh, yeah. I've had plenty of those.
Kyra's
it's never a fun one.
Shooting down the back straight here, side by side. Buster's holding out, but that line that Cairo's taken, that is some beautiful racing there.
Definitely had some good racing, which you expect from the upper divisions. Not too much contact, especially with these two who've been going back and forth for laps now.
Well, Buster was leading this race for quite a little while. Seems that Mez has also brought that gap down to 3.8 seconds. So I don't know if Taz has just packed off the juice or those mediums have started to die off.
Probably will start Getting a decent amount of wear with 14 laps. Well, I don't really see him unless there's a mistake, him losing that difference.
Yeah, well, I think you only get given one set of mediums, don't you? So I think the people who start on the mediums, which were the front runners, think they chose to take those 2-lap-old mediums from the start. So I think that's where an extra 2 laps, he pitted on the same lap, but those extra 2 laps, I think, have come from the start of the race. But we were under safety car conditions for 1.75% of that.
Yeah.
1.75 laps out of 2. So I guess they are probably 12 lap old. Cairo is really hammering the back of Buster's car here.
He needs to get past, because even though Buster has a penalty, you do have that pit lane bug where you can get warnings for coming into the pit lane, so that could get removed.
Yeah, side by side here. Cairo pushing really deep. Buster. So looks like we've lost an Alpha Tauri at the back there, but this is fantastic race. So this is what it's all about. Back and forth. As it looks like Tazza might have made a mistake here. The gap to Mez has come down to 3.2, 3.3. As Cairo's going to go up the inside. Oh, that is almost perfect racing there. Just going a little bit wide on the exit. Last lap heroics. Will we see anything here? Oh! As Buster's made a big mistake there. If he's staying off the track there, he's going
Oh my god.
a fair amount of trouble.
That's not what you want.
Not what you want at all. But Drix has capitalised over this.
He's gained 2 places here.
So will they be able to close up 7/10 on Mez? I don't think Cairo's going to quite get there. And Drix has his own 3-second penalty as well. But again, this could be from the pit lane. So some of these could be taken off. So anything's possible. But big mistake from Buster there, and just not rejoining the track fast enough. The game has gone, bam, slapped in with a 10-second penalty. And said, thanks for coming, mate. You can stay home next time. As our race winner, Taz has crossed the line in P1. Mez, P2. Cairo jumps up into P3 with a 3-second time penalty to Drix. Followed by ABK. Then Buster. Vaxation does go into 7th. Flukesy will come home in 8th. Striker to come home in 9. And it looks like it's going to be pretty self-explanatory for the rest, with Grovesy, Bassink, 33 Evis, Ames, and Mickey DeWiz coming home in order. Now, I believe we had in the chat, I think it was Bailey, put up a quote from Tazza saying, I'm not good enough to race in Div 2.
It's an interesting quote, that one.
I think it's very interesting, isn't it?
I think maybe, hear me out. He might have just had a really good race. We won't know until the next one.
Yeah.
It's me winking. I'm winking as I'm doing that. But I will say, very interesting race. A lot of good battles, and definitely a lot for the FIA to do to pick apart on that one, especially if a few drivers.
Well, the FIA has been very busy. I know it's round 1. It's a new game. We have to get rid of it. But a clinical performance from Tazza. Mezzi also very, very good. Not quite good enough to keep up with Tazza, but a very good race from him. And Cairo hanging in there to take P3 with Buster just falling under some pressure towards the end. So
We're already called out the position as they cross the line. And welcome back, HK. If he is here. There he is.
Hunter's it.
Not HK, Hunter. I'm confused. There's too many H's. I need less H's in the commentating team. One has to go.
That's all right, mate. So a lot of exceeding track limits. We got few pit lanes, but a few front wings to go in there. But more penalties than the academy and novice put together. But with penalties has come quite a bit faster. So we might go into a few of these interviews here. We might see who we can find. Let's. I think we might grab. I reckon we grab SGN to quickly go over his very short-lived race.
I'll let you two do the interviews.
Awesome. SGN, mate. Now, I hate to do this to you, but can you explain what happened in that very first start of the game? Because unfortunately, we didn't quite catch it on stream. We saw Wereboy make contact with his fellow championship partner, Drix, but we didn't see much after that. We just saw a scribble through your name and Wereboy's.
Yeah, it was a bit funny. Through the first corner, I saw a car planted, and there was a bunch of cars that obviously backed up a bit. And as I sort of went right to overtake Tazza, I think someone may have shoved someone, and it just sort of collided into my wheel, and I was just straight away out. Didn't even have a chance to react.
Well, that is quite bad luck, mate. Sorry to make you relive that, but we just wanted the fans to have a little bit of insight. Were you looking forward to this track at least, or is this one of the ones that's kind of on the back burner going, you know what, maybe I can get away with France?
Look, honestly, I was actually pretty keen for the race, being the first race of the season, and but look, it was an unfortunate end either way. But moving forward, we'll see what happens.
No worries. Have you got anything to say, Hunter, or?
Not really. You summed it up, but unlucky today. I like your racing style, SGN. So I'd like to see you on that top step of the podium this season.
Well, we'll see how we go. Hopefully, not with Tazza up there, how quick he is either way, but we'll see.
Oh, Tazza.
You got, or hopefully the Mercedes can bounce back with next race, but we do have a second place coming to Mez. So thanks for your time, mate. I'll drop you back in there and we'll move on. Thanks for popping in. Right, so we've got a little bit of insight on what to happen there. Who else is around the place? I want to grab 30. Actually, I'm going to grab Mickey DeWiz here.
Oh, Mickey.
Mickey DeWiz, how you doing, mate?
Not good.
Not good. We got a couple of questions for you. I think I'll let Hunter start this one.
Why did you even bring me here? I finished last.
That's all right, mate. Hunter, you wanted to ask a question about the tyre strategy?
So what made you? Was it to do with the track drying up that you and I believe it's 33 Evis staying out on the mediums?
Well, Deku, who was our race engineer, he admitted it's his fault, but he told us to stay out. I wasn't really sure if I should pit or stay out, so I just took his word for it. So it didn't count. So then at the safety car, and then what was it? I didn't want to pit because I was scared it was going to dry up and then I'd only go out for like one lap of the inters, which wouldn't make sense for an extra stop. So pretty much I just stayed on the mediums for a bit in the wet, and then like stuff I'll just go on inters, and then dried up after like 5 laps, and pretty much I just went on for the rest of the race onto the soft ride at the end to get fastest lap.
Well, as I said, we all have to try different things, and obviously you might have got it wrong tonight, but I'm sure there'll be another chance for you to make up some positions and have a better race coming up. So thanks for the insight, mate. Really appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
And good luck for the rest of the year, and hopefully we'll see you bounce back next week and get into the points, mate.
Yep, thanks.
All right, so I think there's only one more guy to bring up, and that is our race winner. So
I'd also like to talk to Wero about what happened at the start.
yeah, I think oh, we can grab him as well. We might grab him first. See what he's. We'll jump down to here. Let's grab Wero here. Wero boy. We just want the beloved fans just want a little bit of insight into what happened at turn 1. We've had SGN's take from the back.
What did he say?
His sum up was he saw someone go wide, and before he could really react, he'd pretty much hit. I think he hit someone, or he might have hit you, and he was out of the race pretty much straight away. He said it looked like someone got a little bit touchy in the start, and then by the time that he was pretty much right on the heels of whoever was at the front, he was already out of the race before he reacted. So he didn't have anything bad to say, but it looked like you touched wheels with your teammate Drix. Is that what started it, or was there something else?
That was an unfortunate series of events. So I got a really good start from 6th, and I was up into 2nd going into turn 1, and Drix was on the inside. So going into turn 2, he left space on the inside. He did nothing wrong. But I had to go onto the, turn 2 has a weird rise and then dip. So I had to go onto that and then outsettled the car and I spun. And as I spun, I literally took my hands off the wheel and just waited to die because there were like 10 cars that drove into me. I watched back a clip and I think there was an Alpine in the sky at some point. So yeah, it was just a really bad first lap incident. It wasn't anyone's fault. So yeah, it was just bad.
No, that's all good, mate. We just wanted to see a bit of insight. Unfortunate that you didn't get to get on with the race. Yeah, obviously with a great start there, but on to bigger and better things. We just wanted to kind of, get a little bit of insight to see what happened and cause the lap 1 safety car. So thank you for your time, mate, and we'll let you get back to it.
All right, thank you for commentating.
Thanks, mate. All right, so last one of the night, we're going to grab our race winner, Tazza. So our race winner, Tazza, here.
Hello.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much. Wrapped with that one.
No, that's good. Great drive there. Choice of the mediums over the hards. Can you explain that one to me?
Well, a couple guys went long on the inters, so we were kind of counting the laps. I had Fluxy in there racing with me, and then I had Kevin Dutchy engineering, and we knew that the mediums we started on had only done half a lap. You know what I mean? So we kind of bit the bullet on the laps. We knew it would be a bit slow at the end, but I had about 3 seconds deficit to Mez I had to gain, and I mean, the mediums had been used, so they would get up to temp quick and, catch him on the hards while he was still slow. And I was able to pull a gap with the pace advantage tyre-wise, and it was enough to hold to the end. So got to give all credit to Kev on that one. That was a brilliant call, really. Oh, yeah, it was good.
Right, cool. Hunter, you got anything for our race winner here?
What are you going to be in Div 1?
There were some quick pedalers out there today. You'll be surprised when the app comes out. I guarantee you. Grosy and stuff. There was plenty of guys who had some unlucky races. Everything just sort of fell for me that race. I got to give credit to Fluxy. He had wing damage in the Inters stint, and that held up Striker and Drix a heap for me to get a clear run to overtake them, and then he let me through with a bit of team orders, so we didn't get caught up on the double stack again while he had damage. So it all fell my way today. So great way to kick it off. Hopefully a couple more come my way.
Absolutely awesome. Well, congratulations to yourself. Probably a bit of a shout out and congratulations to Fluxy there for helping the team out. But a great start for yourself in Div 2 and a great start for Aston Martin as well. So congratulations, mate, and look forward to seeing you in many more podiums to come.
Hope so. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for the stream. Thanks, Salty, for jumping in and fixing the gremlins. That was good. Good job, boys. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
I'll remove myself.
All right. So, Hunter, do you have anything else to kind of sum it all up and finish it off for us?
Not really, but one of the things I would say is that these drivers are people as well, and this is for anyone in the chat. Don't go harassing anyone because they had a bad race or something in the chat. And that's pretty much it.
Fair enough. Well, we've got to show massive congratulations to Tazza there for taking out his first Div 2 win of the season. Coming home in second, we did have Mez. So congratulations to him. And in third was King Cairo. Buster just missing out. But a very interesting race. You've had the wets. You've had a safety car. We've had spins. We've had some really, really close racing. So this is just the start of Season 4 in the Prodigy division. I've been your host, Man of Tin, and Hunter Griffin. Again, thank you to Salty for sorting out our little internet demons. But hopefully we'll see you back here next week for round 2 in Hungary. So thank you very much for tuning in to the Aussie Racing League, round 1 of Prodigy division. Thank you very much.